Hey everyone, it's Rambling Hour with Lisa, season 21, episode 2. A few things I just want to check. I want to make sure my sound is good. I don't see the microphone moving up and down there. Is my light on? My light's on. Okay, so let me check on my laptop. My iPad. My light on? My light's on. Okay, so. Yep, I hear myself. Check on. Where's my pause? My mute. There we go. Okay, so I don't really need my iPad out. Because I wanted to see one more thing. I just wanted to tilt you guys up a little bit so you can see the display behind me. I'll just move the chair for a minute. One of my, what season is it? Valentine's Day displays. So it's all about love and stuff. So that's where we're sitting today in the living room. But I wanted that to be in the shot, but I also wanted me to be in the shot. So I did think about sitting on a stool, so I'd be sitting higher, but I'm not. So I can tilt you down a little bit. I just still want to have see what I see on here and what you see on there are different. So let me see. When I tilt it down, do you still get the top shelf? Good enough. Anyways, how is everyone? What are you up to this week? How have things been? It's been an exciting week because we have a new grandson, which we knew was coming. Our daughter Amy's due date was on the 17th, but she had her second son, hers and James' second son, on the 10th. So happy birthday to him. And also her birthday was 2 days later. So happy birthday to Amy. Although last week when she had the baby, she said she wasn't celebrating her birthday that week. She said she postponed her birthday. It wasn't happening. So that's the exciting news in our household. Other than that, it's just been the regular, grocery shopping, painting class, keeping things clean. What did I do today? Well, there's that thing like Instagram and real life type thing. I do try to keep the house clean, as a lot of us do. Some of us might not, but I just spent all day like kind of deep cleaning the kitchen, wiping down everything, like not everything actually, just like even moving things, because say like the drain board has dishes that are drying and there's like, I left Steve's protein powder out on the side. I didn't put that away, but like stuff like that, like water bottles that you refill that sit on the side and things that are just kind of, like his used teacup. If it's clean, it goes away. But if he's used it once and he wants to use it again, it's on the side. And just things that are like your everyday, like working things that you don't mind being in the way, unless you're going to make it look nice for people to come over or whatever. So it's like moving all those types of things out of the way and making things look nice for taking pictures of the Valentine's decor, because yesterday was Valentine's. So now all this decor has to go down. And we will do St. Patrick's Day as well as Easter and spring coming to you soon, because it is already halfway through February. And in my world, March 1st is spring. So I got to get the decorations out. And then that gives me a month to have the St. Patrick's decorations up as well. The question is, because I kind of left a little bit of the winter decorations are mostly just in the entranceway. So I did the Valentine's a little bit in the bathroom, a little bit in the kitchen, and a little bit out here, like dining room, living room. Do I do where do I do the St. Patrick's stuff? Like Easter and spring can stay up longer, even though the same thing, like spring lasts longer than Easter. So do I do certain areas? Like, do I do the living room? And I don't know. That's what I'm wondering. Or should I just do the entranceway with St. Patrick's and Easter and spring in the other rooms? Things to think about after I bring the decorations down. But first, I need to take all before I take the decorations down from the loft. But first, I have to take the Valentine's decorations down from their places and put them away. What I was saying though is also like right now the dining room table, like I haven't taken pictures of the living room and dining room, so like this will be, it's not dirty, it's just like all of our painting stuff, because me and Steve were painting last night. romantic. Hey, listen, it was a great Valentine's Day. Just him and I just sitting in the dining room painting and doing crafts. And I'll show you what I made after I finished my painting from class that I didn't finish in class. And then I worked on something that I wanted to work on. I'm just going to move my face down there. So I have stuff on the table here that you probably can't see. Nope, can't see it. I can show you like over a bit, like that's decorated for Valentine's. This is my table. There's a little bit of Valentine. There's one winter thing there, and then Valentine's-y here. But and what's up there? Oh yeah, Valentine's up on that little shelf. That little shelf above the TV. I originally put it there for the skybox, like the not cable, but TV box. But Steve thought it worked better underneath, so that shelf just became a weird shelf in the middle of nowhere. Although it kind of looked like that even with the skybox on it. So I have some goodies on my table here that we can go through. Okay, so I want to get back into the swing of things, the way that my lives were previously, where I want to have guests. So I'll be working on that as well as doing our end of life planning. So we're just going to start with the 31 questions that we had before. I'm going to do that close to the end, or shall I just do it now because we're talking about it? Yeah, sure. Let's maybe, and then in the future ones, that the question will be at the close to the end of the hour. But for today's sake, we'll talk about why this is important. And I brought the death deck out as well, so I can explain what that is as well. So end of life planning. Who is better to plan the stuff that you want for not just your afterlife, like your will and your last testament and that, but also your funeral. And even before that, if something happens to you, what kind of care do you want? Do you want to do not resuscitate? Are you fine going into a home if the people at home aren't able to care for you anymore? And all that good stuff. So this is why this is really important. Like I said, we've done 30, 35, 31 questions before. And we're just going to start from the beginning again. I have written some of my answers out, but listen, I still need to do my will, which again, practice what I preach, right? So let's get this together. So if you don't have it, next week, I will tell you question 1 and 2 again, so you can do question 1. So get yourself a notebook, even pieces of paper, and you can keep them all together, a folder, anything where you can write the questions down, and then even just little answers right now, and then you can go into depth later. But these things are important. So question 1, there's my little design for Pepper Tooth's end of life planning. What does it say? Note to self, make a plan, priority. And then the little gravestone says, talk to you later, like TTYL. And then in collaboration alongside Rambling Hour with Lisa. So let's go to question number 1. Myself, Lisa May Furlong-Nee McDermott. And question 1, what would you like done with your body after death? Example, cremation, buried, donated to science, tree pod burial, etc. I've told you guys my answer before, but I'll tell you again. I said, ideally, I'd like my body, it would be easier to read this with my glasses. Ideally, I'd like my body to be donated to science, or at least donate as many organs, etc. that I can. However, Steve is concerned that the kids won't like that. Realistically, I'm really not bothered what happens to my body or remains. My spirit will not be where my body is, and I am not one of those people who won't rest because my remains haven't been taken care of properly. It was just a meat suit that has served me well. So the other thing that you might not know about, even if you want to donate your organs, there's a lot of things that go into that, like how you die, where you die, how, if an autopsy needs to be done. Let me think, how does this work again? So yeah, like sometimes the only way you can donate organs is if you're if you die and if you are being kept alive in hospital for whatever reason, they've just worked on you and you die in the hospital where they can keep you good to take the organs out. So even if you want to be an organ donor, it's not always possible. So there's things like that to look at too. Also, is it opt in or opt out in your area to donate your organs? Do you have to sign a thing already while you're alive to say that you want to be an organ donor? So look it up in your area to see what it's like in your area. So like I said, that was the first question. Easy enough to answer, even if it's just buried or cremated, but you need to know that there's so many other options out there now. There's water cremation. There's, like I said, pod burials. There's lots of things that can be done. So it's not just straight. You don't even have to be embalmed. We'll go over lots of these things in the following weeks, but there's even if you die at home, your body doesn't have to be, your family doesn't have to call the coroner right away to come and get your body. They can sit with you for, hours, and you can even have your funeral at home. You don't have to have it at a, what do we call it? Like church or, crematorium or the funeral home. So there's lots of options out there, but today's question is, what do you want done with your body after you die? Your loved ones won't know, and you don't want them to have to worry about the kind of stuff if and when you die. And guess what? We're all gonna die. So, the death deck. So this is a fun and interesting way to get to know what your family and friends want. So the death deck is almost like a game that you play, and it gives you questions and it gets you talking. So I put the lid on upside down for the writing. A lively game of surprising conversations. Ages 13 plus, players 2 to 10, time 30 to 90 minutes. You think you know your friends and family, right? But do you know their thoughts on the most universal yet rarely talked about topic of all? Players of the Death Deck partner up to guess answers to deep, funny, and sometimes weird questions on the topic of death. With 112 cards and numerous ways to play, the Death Deck encourages lively conversations and life-changing dialogue. Play on, brave souls. So that's the Death Deck. I got it on Amazon. And let's just, so there's a little booklet. Let's just randomly choose a card and see what this one says. And this is where we can do these questions too after we go through the 31 questions that I have. My hair doesn't, I need to do my roots again, and I was going to shower, but I spent the whole day cleaning, so I just spritzed my hair to look half decent. So I have my witch hat there that I'm going to put on to cover my roots in a second. Like this second. I chose a black one because I thought the black one would look nicer with the necklace that I'm wearing. This is like, I've wore it in years previous. It's from my sister Melody. It goes with the outspoken perfume from Fergie from the Black Eyed Peas. And you turn it like that, and then it has a little like not ointment. What would it be? Like greasy, like not lip balm, but it's like that kind of oily stuff that has the perfume, and you just dab a little bit. So this is my heart that I wore for the Valentine's theme. Outspoken. She knew that would be me. So the card, back to this. Regarding my critical health care decisions like DNR, do not resuscitate, or a feeding tube. A, leave it all to the professionals. B, I've assigned someone to make those calls. C, I have nothing in writing, but assume my family will make sound decisions. So those are the things, like I said, we could need to talk about this. We need to know what your wants and thoughts and everything are. So that's a good way to get the conversation started. And I should just play that with my family, and then I dropped the card. So we'll see what that one says too. And we'll see what how it goes with the family, and I can give you guys feedback. We want game nights anyways and stuff. So, glasses, Lisa. My glasses are dirty too, so I need to clean them. My personal belief about hospice is it's a hope crusher causing too much focus on the end of life. It's a blessing allowing care and quality time at home. And C, it's tough to beat the lazy river vibe of morphine drip. Yeah, and we'll talk about hospice as well. I need to give you guys some definitions of these things too. Because a lot of people don't realize that you can get hospice sooner than it doesn't have to be just in your final days. There's a lot of like, if you get in touch with hospice, they can help with resources and stuff too. And a lot of people who have had hospice help, a lot of them will say that they wish they would have known that it was available sooner or done it sooner. So there is resources to help with end of life stuff if you have someone who is facing that in their life, or you're facing it in your own life. So definitely look up into hospice information. You'll be surprised at everything that they do offer, and that it's probably not even what you think it is. It sounds like it's like a morbid, sad thing where it's like the final days of someone, but there's way more to it than that. So look into hospice, and then you'll know better how to answer that question. So what else do I have on my table? I have the words that I printed off years ago in case I can't think of what to talk about on my live. And of course I have my pop. It's not very fizzy. It's the end of an old bottle that I'm finishing. It's not that cold either. But okay, so I showed you guys a couple of weeks ago, and I do see how wide I've gotten again. And that, again, I love myself no matter what I look like. I'm still me. It hasn't changed anything. More me to love. But I feel better and feel better about myself when I've worked out stuff. So this does make me, again, my personality is great, but this makes me a little bit sad. But it's no one's fault but my own, for shoving everything that I see in my mouth and not working out anymore. So yes, this is motivating me to do something about it. Okay, so a couple of weeks ago, I showed you, like, I'm going to start writing to pen pals again and stuff like that. And I showed you my little box that I had, and it had like shells on it and stuff, but it was faded from the sun and everything else. But I liked the box. And this is what I did yesterday with the help of, well, it wasn't with the help of Steve, but when me and Steve were having our romantic Valentines, we were painting and stuff. And I have done a little bit of collaging now in my art class, but not a lot. And I haven't really, to my memory, decoupaged before. So this is like one of the first things I've done like this. I do have like lots of scrapbooking stuff, and I do scrapbooks. So it's not like I haven't done crafty stuff like this, but this specifically with glue and decoupaging and stuff. So I'm going to bring it closer for you guys to see. So that's the front that I did, or the top. And this paper goes to the back, and it goes on the sides. I'm not sure if I like this little bit here, but I guess it doesn't look too bad. And then I accidentally put this piece of tissue paper not far enough over one side, so it had like a little bit of the black showing here. So that's where I used this that I ripped up around the bird, the scraps that were still left. So that's a trick when you're scrapbooking and stuff. If you want something behind, say you want red, like a red border behind your picture or whatever, you don't have to put a piece of cardstock that is bigger than the picture here. You can, but what you could do is actually cut out the middle of the paper too, so you're not wasting all that, especially if it's a design that you like to use more of this. I ripped it up, so it looks like it's all the way behind it, but it's only on the edges that I've used it. So, and then I've used some of the ripped stuff on either side just to cover that one black side. So bottom, so because this is like this, I tried to sand it a little bit and put some glue on it so that, but when it's like a shiny, like this, you couldn't paint over this shiny like stuff. The paint will just scratch off of it. So sanding it a little bit with sandpaper will help, but at the same time, that's why it has like these marks where it's scratched off, but I'm actually not minding those because I like the way it looks, because it makes it look older. However, now the paint that's underneath the paper here won't scratch off, obviously, unless you scratch the paper off as well. So let's open and see what we have. So I did, this paper was cardstock, so it was thicker, so I couldn't really glue it on the outside because I wanted something thin. And so but I used it here because I liked the alphabet. And I made sure that this ribbon, I took it off while I was sanding and painting and everything, but I made sure it was underneath there and underneath here as well. And then there's a little, okay, so I put these on here. It didn't work as good as I wanted because they're vellum. Is that what it's called? Vellum. So there is like stuff on each one of them has to do with like postage, but it's better on a white background or whatever. So my little drawer. So I'll show you. So I still have letters in the top, but they have the address of when I lived in Canada. So, but I'll take them out. I'll show you what I did here. So that is that part. And I even put washi tape around, all the way around to finish the edges off inside. And then the bottom drawer is where I have my address labels and stuff. But if I take those out, and there's more, hang on. If I keep taking those out, then I use the same like tissue paper with this writing on in the bottom drawer as well. I'm really happy with this. I like the way it turned out because I wasn't really a fan of it before with the seashells and stuff on it, even if it wasn't faded. That was something that I had. I liked the way it worked. I liked that it had my letters in and stuff, but I wouldn't have it out on display. This makes me want to have this out on display. The only other thing that I think I might want to do is get like a little brown envelope, like a little envelope, and glue it here or over that there, but like a little envelope here where you could like have a few stamps in or whatever. I think that would look cute. And because this goes up like that, it's like the envelope is. So I'm really proud of this. I like the way this turned out. And like I said, I would even leave this on display now that it's done like this. And I'm just excited to have pen pals again. I won't write too many times in a year because postage is still expensive, but, and then this folds up, this ribbon tucks in, and this holds it closed. And I might even put a seal there as well or something. Like I thought about putting a seal on top, like a wax seal, or maybe here, or a little latch, even though it doesn't need it, but just for some hardware and to make it look nice. What do you guys think? So that is what I did yesterday. And I only have one more thing on my table, but I'll save that for last. What was I checking? So yeah, I can't believe I did almost everything and it's only been 22 minutes. Last week we did stuff in the kitchen. So what's coming up for me? Again, I want to have guests. I haven't read very much or listened to books much. Been listening to podcasts. But that's because as I listen to books, I want to write down my reviews as I listen to them. So I need to write down a couple, like I've listened to 2, maybe 3 books. They were small ones, but I need to write down my reviews for those before I go on to the next book. Saying that, I will do that this week. And like I said, normal stuff going on this week. It was actually below freezing yesterday, which I didn't think we were going to get any more of that this winter, but it was. So I had to put on the heater. Oh, last night? No, it was only 1 overnight at the lowest last night. The night before it went below 0. So I turned the heater on in the greenhouse. Speaking of greenhouse, I need to get that done. I need to start some seedlings. I'm just working on things like in the office or wherever, just organizing something and then organizing it more and organizing it more, but just making my way around the house and trying to reduce, reuse, recycle. Just trying to get things like I don't want to own as much stuff as I have, and it's use it or lose it, right? So I'm trying to get organized and get things like I said, reduced if I don't need them or use them if I have them, right? So even like this memo thing that I bought that's like the days of the week, and it has like a memo notepad on it, and it's got a magnet on the back and it's got flowers and it sticks to the fridge or wherever. So I put that on the fridge because my cousin Jen says same. I was going to say your last name just so that, because although I don't have another cousin named Jen, but when I move these to YouTube or whatever and people can't see the comments, then, or if I say like the name of someone and people don't know who I'm talking about, then I will remember who it was as well. But I have to think for a minute how to say your last name. Don't tell me. It's sort of how it's spelled. It's Dinius, but it's Dinius. Yeah, I think that's how you'd say it, right? I think you said last time that I said it right, Denias. So my cousin Jen Denias said same with like use it or lose it, getting rid of things, especially because she had a big move across, like she lives in the United States. So she moved like across the states. I looked up the other day again, like how far from where she's from to where she's moved. And it's quite a distance actually. So, and she said yes. And I'm assuming that's not the pronunciation. So getting rid of things, using things, check mark. Nope, I lost it. So, but I am doing that. And then I need to work on residency. So, like our visa, this visa expires in November 2026. And if I was to do another visa, like 2.5 year visa, you can't apply until 30 days before. But we've been here over 10 years. So I'm going to try and apply for residency. So I need to do the paperwork for that, but also, like Steve said, to get on it, because if we need to hire a solicitor for that, then I need to, know what I'm doing. So that is a priority as well. But the season, like I said, we're halfway through February, so it's going to be spring sooner than later. I know for some of you guys, you still have a lot of snow that won't be going away, and you won't be gardening yet. But if you have indoor indoor windows, oh my gosh, like grow lights indoors, or if you have windows that have good sun and stuff, there is like you can start some herbs in your sunniest window, and things that you don't want to start different things too early because they'll get laggy, like reaching for the light, like really long and skinny instead of short and stout like me, healthy. But here in the UK, there's things you can grow all year round, let alone just starting things in February. But definitely there's things to start in March here specifically. You'd have to look at your zones and what it is where you are. Talk to somebody in your area who starts seedlings or plants or whatever. Okay, let me think. What day is it? So, yeah, Valentine's was yesterday. Today's the 15th of February. Anything else coming up? And then March. So the next thing is like Easter. Here, there's Mother's Day in March, which is another thing when I was talking about the displays, because I like for Father's Day in June, there's, besides the summer stuff, there's not a lot to put out on display with changing my decorations for the season. So I usually do like a bit of a dad father's like display on here. But with March, with having St. Patrick's and then Easter and spring, but if I did one to mothers myself in March, then it's like already a lot of decorations. I could do it in May, but that's that's when American and Canadian Mother's Day is, but I don't know. It's also kind of weird to do, even though I do the father's one, it's kind of weird to do one to myself. I mean, not totally weird. We know I love myself, but I really enjoyed my dreams last night. And I hate when you have like such a good dream and you just want to go back. And weirdly, I've been having these dreams. Like I've had 3 in the last few weeks that I've been on a reality TV show. Like kind of like Big Brother, but like none of them were like really stressful or whatever. But it was just like all of them were whilst we were taping. Like I was literally living with these people in whatever scenario. And yeah, I don't know what that's about. But what else do we do in our lives? Cooking. Again, trying to organize. So I organize my cookbooks. I say cookbooks, but like my cooking binder. Like if I find a recipe that I like online, then I print it off. Then I put it in a slipcover and I put it in my binder. So, I mean, eventually, when I have plenty of time, I'll recopy them into better form, because some of them are printed with the ads that come on the web page and everything else. But I organized the ones that I had added, just shoved in. So I did that. So cooking in the kitchen, definitely something that I want to do more of. As I told you guys a couple of weeks ago, I want to do maybe like the way that I can inspire myself to do it is like how. So the posts that I do for the different days of the week, like Sundays, it's Spotlight Sundays, Self-Care Sundays, and Death Positive Sundays. So when I talk to you guys and I'm doing the Death Positive stuff, that takes care of that. But self-care Sundays might be the day that I let myself be pamper myself a little bit, have a bath when our bathtub is back in place, because the bathroom's still not done upstairs. Don't even ask. It'll get done eventually. But yeah, self-care on Sundays, and so spiritual Saturdays, and then Friday, food Fridays. That's when I post about food. So I've been trying to do that. That's why a couple weeks ago, I posted something that I made in the kitchen. I don't remember what. And then, 2 days ago, like Friday, I just posted it, but for Friday that just passed, I did like peeling bananas and, breaking them into pieces and freezing them for frozen bananas, because I used to work at Booster Juice fruit and smoothie bar, and that's what we did there to make it, because we didn't wait for the bananas to go black. When you work in a place like that, you go through a lot of bananas, so we had like boxes of bananas that we would peel before you freeze them, because that makes it so much easier. Peel them, break them into pieces, and freeze them, and then you have them. And I have been having smoothies, healthy smoothies, the last few nights instead of having a milkshake. So frozen bananas make it nice and creamy and thick, and yeah, it's awesome. Steve will have his protein shakes, and I'm allergic to soy, so there's a lot of protein powders I can't have, and I'm not working out right now anyway, so I don't really need to feed my muscles the extra protein until I start working out. But when he has his protein shake, I will have a banana shake. I've tried a few different things. Like, I love cinnamon in it. And then I've tried like cinnamon. I tried orange extract, but then I thought, oh, maybe a real orange would taste nice in it too. I haven't tried that yet. And then yesterday I tried strawberry extract with my banana and cinnamon, and it was all right. I'm allergic to strawberries raw, so I can have them cooked, but there is some things that I did, fruit that that reminds me, I did cook some fruit and then freeze it so that I could have it with smoothies. So now that I'm actually having smoothies, I could use up that fruit. Again, use it or lose it. The garage needs to be reorganized. Like, I always go back to every area and then like clean and organize and make things a little bit more organized. And yeah, so that is my life in a nutshell. I can't think of anything specific that's coming up. I know CrimeCon is, I believe, in June, if I'm going to that. And then also Blue October, one of my favorite bands, is coming back to the UK because they're American. And I think that's June, like June, early June. So if I want to go to that. And then this will be a surprise to everyone, because me and Steve, we've talked about it, but we haven't really told my family. But my niece Shay is graduating this year. She's the same age as Erica, but the schooling works different here. So Erica finished high school a few years ago, and they don't really have like the diploma thing that they do in America and Canada. But Shay is graduating this year, and my sister-in-law Tara is having a get together for everyone for Shay's graduation. And also, now that my brother has passed away, this is his wife, that she's looking probably to sell the farm, and it might be one of the last times that I'll get to see the house and the farm. So me and Steve have talked about going down in May to Canada to be there for that family due. So surprise, that could be happening too. And like I guess I said, it's like nearly March, so this time is like flying. So maybe I should tell my family about that and make sure I have a place to stay. And maybe we'll book our flights and stuff. Oh, that reminds me, I need to finish that too, because I did get an email back from I need to, like how my flights were delayed, and then how they lost my luggage and stuff. I need to deal with those things. So also that reminded me this week. Oh, I emptied my not recycle bins. So it's been like almost 2 years since I've actually gone through my email account, one of my email accounts, my main one, gone through and like in the inbox, and like, cause it has like priority and other or whatever. It has like 2 pages for the inbox now, but I went through both of them, and lots of the stuff needed just to be deleted, and some of it, like, I would organize it into folders. So I've gotten that far that my inboxes were both empty. That made me happy. But now I need to go through those folders and delete like old stuff that I don't need anymore. And yeah, so that was a big achievement for me this past week, that I've like after 2 years of barely doing it, that I got my inbox and my email to say that it was empty. And pictures, doing stuff with that. I don't know. I don't know. Journaling, all of the good things that I'm trying to do. Obviously, I said that I need to start working out again. The TV's here. I'm here. The space is here. There's no excuse for me not to be doing my workouts. And Steve doesn't want to do yoga with me because of his bad back and neck. Although I know there is some yoga things he can do and you strengthen your muscles, but he doesn't want to. But he wants to do the workout with me. So that's cool. So we'll do that. I keep going back and forth with like wanting to get another dog, but I don't want any more responsibility. But then I do want another dog, and then I don't want the responsibility when I can't even keep up with house plants and stuff. And then I just also believe that the right dog will come at the right time. So if I'm meant to have another dog, then it'll come. But then there's also a part of me that, like, I know Steve will want another German Shepherd, and I do like the temperament of the German Shepherd, so I'm not opposed to that, but I kind of just want a small dog. So the right dog will come at the right time. And I wouldn't mind a cat, but then do I really want, like, the same thing, like, it's all the destructiveness of it while it gets used to living here and all that, and then Steve doesn't want a cat anyway, so, but the right cat will come at the right time if I'm supposed to have one. And axolotls are doing fine. I need to clean the filter in their tank, though. See, this is what I mean. I don't want more responsibility if I don't even keep up with the things that I'm supposed to be doing. I mean, they're healthy. They're fine. It's just I know that it's, when you're like, ooh, I need to do that. And then the next day you're like, ooh, I need to do that. And then the next day you're like, oh, that should have been done a few days ago. Oh, I'll do that tomorrow. And yeah, so that's how I live. Not always procrastinating necessarily, but just like there's so much to do that I have to remember that you can't get it all done at once. And I don't remember where it was from, but somebody, I think it was from the Don't Sweat the Small Stuff and It's All Small Stuff by Dr. Richard Carlson, the book that I read when I was 18, that it said that you'll die with things on your to-do list. So I have to accept that, that you're never going to be done everything. Everything is not going to get all done. And then you get to sit down and be like, no more things to do. It's like, it's ongoing, right? It's just a circle of life, literally life while you're living. And yeah, you got to just accept that you're going to get things checked off your to-do list, and then you're going to add things to your to-do list. And something that I like to do in my journal, I love lists anyways, but like I write my to-do list, like Monday I have to do this, and Tuesday I'll do that, and Wednesday I'll do this, and I write my to-do list, but also a way to and it's okay if you don't get the things done on your to-do list, even if you move them to the next day because you didn't get them done, but a way to make yourself feel better about yourself is like take your to-do list and then write, like I cross off things that I did, but I also will write at the bottom things that I did that weren't on my list, but that I got, like say, the other day when I felt like working on my emails to empty my inbox on my emails, it might not have been on my list to do that day, but I did it. So then I'll write that down, and you'll see that you actually achieved things that day, and it'll make you feel good. And you're not lying. You did do those things. So they're on your to-do list. It's okay to add them after the fact if you did them. So that's a way to see that you aren't wasting your days, even if you think it's a lazy day. Like even if I was just sitting down doing nothing, being lazy, but I was actually working on my inbox on my emails, then I'm being productive. So, we watched the movie. What was it called? It's got Kristen Bell and I can't remember her name, Bishop, and it's about like coupon queens, but it's like kingpins, but yeah, Queen Pins. I think that's what the movie's called. And it's based on a true story about these women who, like, basically it's fraud, but they defrauded the system for like coupons for free stuff that they were selling to people at a reduced rate. So if you bought an item for $40 or pounds, but you had a coupon for it for free, but they would sell the coupon to you for £20. So then you go and buy the product for free, but you spent £20 on the coupon. Anyways, we watched that movie yesterday. It was all right. It was crazy that it was based on a true story, and there were some really funny parts in it. So I did enjoy it. I did laugh out loud. Mom says, "Hi, Lisa." Hi, Mom. And what else have we been watching? Still, I think I don't know if I told you guys or not. We've been watching it's called The Morning Show with Reese Witherspoon and Jennifer Aniston and Steve Carell and a bunch of other good actors and stuff. So we've been watching The Morning Show. We are on season 2 of that. I think we're almost done season 2, and that is. Steve says it's a bit more soap opera-ish than he thought it would be, but for me, I think it's really good, and I understand what the hype was about now, and I'm glad that we're watching it. Anything else that we're watching? I can't think of it right now. So, Steve didn't go out tonight, so I'll spend time with him when I'm done here. There's something else I wanted to do. I mean, besides tidying and taking pictures of, it's something that I said yesterday after I finished making this beautiful box. I said I would put all my scrapbooking stuff and like all the, I'm a messy when I have a project, everything's everywhere. So I said, I'll clean it up tomorrow because it was late last night when I finished everything and when we went to bed. So that I just need to tidy up some of that kind of stuff. Like I said, our painting stuff over there. Sorry, I was reading a bit of a text that came up at the top, but everything's good. Did I eat supper? No. Oh, I had leftover pizza that Allison orders a pizza on the last day that she's here before she goes and stays at her boyfriend's for a couple nights. And she'll order pizza last night. And then in the morning when she leaves, if there's any left, she'll put it in the oven for me. And I put it in the fridge. So yeah, I had a piece of pizza while I was cleaning the kitchen. That's right. But yeah, I need to eat a proper dinner. And again, that with the health thing, it being 10 to 9, I need to not be eating this late. And speaking of which, I have been trying to stop drinking late because I'm tired of getting up so many times in the night to go to the toilet. And it might just be age. It might be perimenopause. It might just be that I drink too much, especially I don't stop drinking until I go to sleep. And it takes at least a half an hour to hit your bladder. So then I'm up, right? So if I can stop drinking at like 8 o'clock or something, then maybe I won't need to wee all night long, but we'll see. I am trying, but the thing is I'm a thirsty, as the podcast that I listen to called Wine and Crime. I love Wine and Crime. No. I always get them confused. Wine and Crime. And then there's the podcast and That's Why We Drink. And both of them have 2 American ladies on it. But Wine and Crime is good. It is a good podcast, which I do listen to, but I absolutely love and laugh all the time with the dynamic of the 2 on And That's Why We Drink. But on there, one of the ladies always says, drink your water. And I think I've told you guys this before. She says, drink your water, you thirsty little rats. And so that's what I think about and so then I was saying that I'm trying not to drink closer to bedtime, but I am a thirsty little rat. It's like I just want to drink. It doesn't even matter if it was pop or water. I'm thirsty all day long. Not in a way that I would go to the doctor, like where it might be my thyroid or diabetes. That's it, right? When you get not that much. Plus, I mean, I need to actually go get my blood tested again because remember I'm on like my iron tablets and my vitamin D and stuff. And I got to see if those have been working. Oh, and my blood pressure. I need to do that too. Guys, remind me. The doctor hasn't said do this, check your blood pressure for the next week or anything else, but I just want to do it to make sure that the medication I'm on, I did it a couple nights ago and it was fine, but I want to do it like regularly, like they do like twice a day for 7 days or whatever, just to make sure that the medicine is regulating my blood pressure and everything's good, because blood pressure, high blood pressure, low blood pressure, whatever, is the silent killer, because a lot of times there's no symptoms. You don't even know you have it. So with the affordability of a blood pressure machine these days, I would totally suggest ordering one from Amazon or wherever and having a blood pressure monitor at home and doing your blood pressure and just checking it. It it's such a small investment and could save your life literally. So I didn't even know I had high blood pressure until we tested me. And we bought the machine. Steve bought it for himself, but we thought we would just test ourselves because, it's fun. And yeah, and then that's how we found out that I'm Is it with hypertension? Yeah. So there you go. Okay, guys. I will do the last thing for, oh, come on. When I tried to see what the time is. Not what time it is, but how long I've been rambling. That's 45 minutes. So I have 15 minutes. Okay. Don't tell Steve, but I might have got another deck of cards. I need to work with them as well. They say when you have a deck of cards, whether it's Oracle or you want to work with Tarot, you need to work with your cards and get to know them. You can work with each card separately on its own and what that card means to you, what you feel with it, and look at it and study it and really get to know your cards. So instead of buying new cards, I really need to start working with some of my decks and finding which ones I resonate with the most. And they also say if you don't resonate with the deck, if it just doesn't feel right, then give it to somebody who feels like it might be good for them or whatever. So this one is called Woodland Wardens. And it's because I was listening to the Comfy Cozy Witch podcast. I finished her podcast. I caught up with all of it, but she pulls from this deck a lot. And I thought it's by Jessica Roux, Roux. And I thought I might enjoy it. So, and I am not opposed to lending out my decks to people. But when you get your own deck, you want to cleanse it. So whether you do a witchy thing like with smoke or salt or whatever, or you just, like I said before, you just picture it, because there's the manufacturers, the shop, the delivery, everybody who's touched this deck. Once you want a deck to be yours, I'll use the lid as well. You can picture a little drain on the bottom. Imagine any energy that are in these being drained out the bottom. You can ask the universe to put good energy into them or your own energy into them. You're making them your own. So the only energy in these, some people won't even let other people touch their decks after that. I would let people touch my decks, but I would probably, I know I would clean it and just do the same thing that I just did before a reading. So most decks come with a book to tell you the cards, and oh, those are cute. I just saw a little mousey. So we'll show you the mouse too, but what is it? I need glasses. So what was he saying? Yeah, cleansing your deck before you use it. So if I was doing a reading or something, so that's the mouse and the buttercup. It is Innocence and it's card 0. Yeah, they're in the order that they numbered order. So I'm gonna keep the buttercup out. I mean the mouse and the buttercup, because it drew my attention to it. And then I'm going to shuffle these and we'll do a card pull. We can do a 3-card pull if you want, seeing we have one there, or we could just do 1 card if you want. They're not, I'm trying to shuffle them on my leg, so. I need to remember when I'm shuffling too to not shuffle them the different ways. Like I want to keep them all face up or whatever. And if you want to work with cards, like somebody might have a deck of cards that they'll let you work with before you buy your own, or because some of them can be pricey, some of them can be affordable, absolutely. But yeah, like I said, some of your friends might have cards. If you just get into conversation with them, they might be like, oh, I have a few decks and I don't really use these ones. So, or if you want to try these ones out and see what you think, so yeah, talk to your friends and see if they have any Oracle decks or even tarot decks. So I told you guys how to do a 3-card spread. I don't have a table in front of me, but I will show you guys. We're going to use this one as our present. So usually it's the 2nd card you pull, but I'm going to say that this, because it popped out, that this is our present right now. But let's do the past. So pick a card, any card, and I'm going to say that whatever we got here is the past. Again, glasses. the Cayman and Poppy means dreams, which we already talked about dreams today. So that's our past. So, which is funny because somebody in my dream was from my past. So might have to do with that. The reading that I'm doing right now, because I'm doing it, it might be about me, it might be about you. It seems like you get the messages you need from the universe when you need them. So listen. So even if you're watching this, that's our future. It's the hare and oak, new opportunities. This is very interesting. So even if you're watching this live right now, or you're watching this 2 years from now, the reading that I'm about to give you is probably what you need to hear. At least part of it you need to hear right now. So I also can already tell that these cards are meant for me. So let me tell you what I see in the card, and then I will read what the book has to say. Okay, so our past is card Roman numerals at the top, so that's 20. X is 10, so that's 2 X's is 20. The Cayman and Poppy, dreams. So beautiful cards already, loving it. You know how I am with nature, so I'm loving these already. So I'm seeing the red poppies. That's getting me excited for spring and summer. Actually, poppies will flower like almost the whole season. And a Cayman is a crocodile, a lizard. Oh, there was a thing I had it in a dream last night or the night before. I had these pets. I need to write that down. I think it was the night before. I had these pets, and I can't. Once I woke up, I couldn't remember if they were lizards or they were birds. But it was just funny because dinosaurs. Then I started thinking about dinosaurs or like pterodactyls, but they were small. But I was like, oh, like they're kind of lizards and then birds. So then, yeah. So it's interesting that we got this. But anyways, let's read in the book what the Cayman says. Oh, and that poppy actually looks like an oriental poppy as well, based on the leaves. Looks like a perennial oriental poppy. But it might not be. Let's see what the book says. 20. I know my Roman numerals. I used to know them up to 100, but meaning, dreams. Wait, what? Yeah, dreams. Exceptionally quiet and still, the caiman is an alligator-like reptile that spends much of its time in a trance-like state, rousing only to snare its prey. Likewise, the poppy is closely associated with sleep. Since ancient times, the powerful sedative opium has been derived from its seeds. Together, the caiman and poppy tell us about our dreams. Upright. So that means the card, if it's upright when you pull it, sometimes the cards, especially if you mix them up, they'll come out, and some people will just turn it. But if it comes out upside down, some people will, that means something as well. So that's where this has the upright or the reverse. I'll read both of them to you. I almost always like know which way my cards are, so I would always get them this way. And some people don't care whether they're upright or not. They just straighten them. But in the book it says, upright, a dream of yours is about to come true. Stay still, yet alert, like the caiman. And at the right moment, seize your opportunity with relish. And if it's the reverse, your head is in the clouds. Instead of dwelling in fantasy, think about practical steps you can take to achieve your wildest dreams. And then it has some like journaling prompts, I guess, like questions. What have I dreamt about recently? How can I make my dreams a reality? So, like I said, I think this has to do with the fact that in the dreams, especially last night's dream that I really enjoyed, there was somebody from my past. Don't worry, in my dreams, I'm married to Steve. I won't even cheat on him in my dreams, even if I wanted to. But it was just a really good dream. The stupid thing is, it was a man, and it was somebody that I care about. And in my dream, we were like not snuggling, but like he was like, I was sitting on a couch, we were watching TV or whatever, and he was lying like with his head on my lap and stuff. And Steve was there, and it was just like a comfortable like friend thing. It wasn't anything weird or anything. And in my dream, he had a 1-year-old son, even though his kids are older than that in real life. So he had a 1-year-old son that was there visiting too. And it was just a comfortable friend thing. It was so nice to spend time with him and everything. But I was like, dang, in real life, I could totally visit with him and everything else, but we wouldn't get that physical contact, that nice, like comfy, like cozy like that, because that would be inappropriate. So, but I really did enjoy my dream. So I don't wait, I need to stop what I'm saying. I don't know what that dream has to do with my life right now, but I know that I enjoyed my dream last night, and with opportunities, I dream every night. So I just have to think about the things that I've dreamt about. Like I said, even those little bird, lizard pets that I had, and there was 3 of them. So I have to write these things down and kind of think about my past and my dreams and what they mean. Um, and then, so the present is the mouse and the buttercup, and it is card 0. So it is innocence. See, I'm innocent. It was just an innocent dream. Let's see what it says in the book. So buttercup's yellow. I love yellow. And a little mouse. I'm just a little innocent mouse. Oh, it'll be at the beginning because it's 0. I can read you about this deck too. Okay, innocence. Like the Fool in the tarot deck, the mouse and buttercup is numbered 0. Both cards mark the start of a journey, and both remind us that we have much to learn. Mice are grounded and innocent. Yet anyone who has dealt with a mouse in their house knows they are determined and highly adaptable. The mouse is paired with the humble buttercup, a symbol of childhood innocence. Have you ever held a buttercup under your chin? According to a centuries-old children's game, if the reflection of the flower glows yellow on your skin, it reveals that you like butter. Okay, I do like butter, but upright. If your card is upright, you may be embarking on a journey or starting down a new path. Remember that innocence and a lack of understanding are not negative qualities. Instead, they remind us of our capacity for growth, adaptability, and learning. And if it's reverse, you may be unprepared for what you undertake. Consider how you might adapt and learn to better lay the groundwork for future endeavors. And then your journaling prompts say, what do I hope to learn on this new path? What potential dangers should I look out for? And the thing is that I'm going to have to journal now. So that'll be what I'll be doing before I spend time with Steve, is I need to answer these questions fresh today in my mind while we're doing this reading. Okay, and the last one is the hare, and it's number 3, the hare and oak, new opportunities. And remember, I pulled that from the middle of the deck because I shuffled it, and it's still only card number 3. So the hare and the oak, the mighty oak, and this is our future card. So what was it, number 3? So doot. That is number 2. Wait, why? Oh, because there's 0. We were on 0. I was like, wait, why did I only go 3? But there's because 0 and then 1, 2, 3. I just needed to go one more. Gotcha. Okay, new opportunities. Hares are often symbols of fertility and love. Associated with the Celtic goddess Eostre, they represent springtime, a season of birth and abundance. A variety of ancient cultures have linked the oak tree with bravery and vitality. In ancient Greece, the oak was revered as a tree sacred to Zeus. In Norse mythology, it represented the tree of life. And in ancient Celtic and Druidic cultures, the oak was associated with the god Dagda. So if the card is upright, a celebration of good fortune is in order. If you have been in a caregiving role, this is a reminder that your sacrifices will be repaid. If it's the reverse, themes of neglect and empty promises abound. Perhaps your hard work isn't paying off in the manner expected. Try connecting with the hare, a creature of great energy and fruitfulness, to power through the difficult times ahead. And the journaling prompts, what can I celebrate today? What exciting opportunities should I follow up on? So those are our cards for today. Something else I learned from watching the show, the morning show, is I guess we're not supposed to use the term spirit animals. That's indigenous, like American indigenous term that we're not supposed to use. I have no problem with not using terms if it's cultural appropriation, or if it's like, but I was like really confused when I heard that, because I'm like, hang on, almost every culture, if not every culture, uses animals in spirit form as guides, in religions and different like mythologies, whatever you want to call it. So if you don't call them spirit animals, what are we supposed to call them? We call them animal spirits. And I guess, and then I realized that here, a lot of times, and not animal totems, because totems are specific to a certain type of indigenous in North America. And so you can call them power animals. Hopefully that's all right. Power animals. And like I said, the animal spirits, and then in like, you might think of witches when you hear that you're familiar, but, so just animals that are walking with you on your journey. They're just guides. So animal guides. And I guess that's the terms that I'll be using is power animals or animal guides. And the animal that you might find that there's an animal specific to your whole life that for some reason you just love this type of animal, or you even almost resemble or act like a certain animal. And it might be the animal that's walking life with you. But like any guides on the other side, you will have at least one that spends its whole life with you. And then you'll have other ones that will come in at certain times. So if I need more strength in my life, I might have a tiger. I might dream of a tiger, or like need to be more like a tiger. And you'll have different, I almost said spirit animals, but this is where I got to pinch my tongue and learn to say, okay, so you might have other animal guides that will come in at different times in your life. So, but I didn't even know that we weren't supposed to use that term. So there you go. That's something that you might not know either. Let me put these in order. And I know these look backwards to you guys, but when I flip this on to YouTube, it will be the right way. So past, present, future. And I think that's exciting. I think that's very exciting, especially the hair in the future. I'm going places. I'm getting things that I want. And lots of the things that we do in our lives are personal to us. So even me manifesting things or writing in my journal the things that I want to do with my life and where I want things to go, it might not be things that I necessarily tell everybody about. I don't really have secrets, but like, where do I want this podcast to, it's not a podcast. Where do I want the Rambling Hour with Lisa to go? What do I want it to be? Who do I want to inspire with it? And all the different things, like the different, even like writing to people, like having pen pals and different things that I want to do. I have goals and I write things down and the steps I need to take to get places. And so these are even more exciting to me. So what things have you been working on? What is this relevant to in your life? You can even tell me about it. But yeah. So that is another deck that we can work with. If you have any, if you've seen a deck that we've had on the Rambling Hour and you want me to bring it back and work with it or whatever, and I should do readings as well. So I know there is somebody who asked me to do a reading and I need to do a reading on for them. But yeah, let me know if you want me to practice on you. Anyways, I'm going to put these back in here and I'll give them a quick shuffle. Oh, no, I need to take pictures of them. And then, yeah, so I think that's it. Oh, what I was going to say is, I said this last week too, and I'm going to say this all the time until I am ready to not say it. All my old Rambling Hours are up on YouTube. Just search Rambling Hour with Lisa or at Rambling Hour with Lisa, and all of them are there. Even if you're not going to watch the old ones or anything else, please go to at Rambling Hour with Lisa on YouTube and just hit subscribe so that I have more people going to there. I want these to not only be for friends and family, but I want to inspire people to see them. And I do believe that the right people will see them at the right time and when they're supposed to. But because so many people will watch them on my Facebooks, that's great. That makes me happy. But Facebook only keeps these up for 30 days. And until I do lives on Instagram or YouTube themselves or whatever, this is the way I like doing it. I'm doing them on Facebook, but they only are on here for 30 days and they seem like they're hard to find. So if you can, this will be up on YouTube within today or tomorrow, and then just hit subscribe. So if you want to see any of my other ones, and I'm trying to do playlists on there as well. So if you want to watch all the Halloween ones or all the Valentine's ones, or, like last year we did St. Patrick's crafts and stuff. So I want to make playlists like that. There is a couple playlists already, but then you can have all of them together and the different topics and everything else. But please go to YouTube at Rambling Hour with Lisa and hit subscribe. And other than that, let me know if there's anything you guys request that you want on here. Like I said, I'm going to do more guests and fun. And it's going to be spring before we know it. So I love you guys. I will see you guys next Sunday. I don't have any theme or anything in mind yet, but maybe I'll even have a guest. We'll see. So, sorry, my brain just started thinking about next week. All right. I love you guys, and we'll see you next Sunday.